failed to vacate as a
What
holdover
day was
tenant. Yes,
that?
Your Honor.
How much was the rent under the lease?
$500 with utilities.
Ms. Makua alleges that there was a lease of some sort between her and Mr. Hilbig before he passed.
She's in investigation for fraud. She's been stalking, tampering with the mail. I have records. She has been taking my rent. She called me a tenant in suffrage.
People learning English as a second language report it to be very difficult to learn, but at least they know what they don't know. This crazy Karen here is still struggling with her first language, whatever that is. She's also struggling with life in general. Now that her benefactor has crossed that rainbow bridge, Karen is totally unprepared for what comes next, which is that somebody with a new responsibility they probably didn't ask for will try to collect rent, check on the place, fix things, and perhaps try to sell it so the estate can be liquidated and probate closed. Karen had me at suffrage. She really did. Let's roll, nerds.
Jennifer Monahan as an executor in the estates of both Larry Hilbig and an administrator for the estate of Lisa Freeman versus Naomi Makwa and others on behalf of Monahan as the independent executor.
Yes, Your Honor.
On behalf of the plaintiff.
Yes, Melissa Butts on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good morning, Ms. Butts.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, and do I have someone here on behalf of Naomi Makua? I apologize if I am mispronouncing that last name.
Judge, they're here.
I can see
She's
that
on
you're
mute.
here, ma'am, but you're on mute. So
Okay, I'm sorry.
good morning. Who is Naomi and how do I pronounce this? Makua?
Makua.
Makua. Are you Miss Makua?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Butts, why is this eviction being sought?
Your Honor, this is a holdover tenant. We issued a 30-day notice to vacate in June 10th, I believe. Ms. Makua failed to vacate the premises. We then issued a 3-day notice to vacate. Again, Ms. Makua failed to vacate. And so then we filed this action.
Okay, Ms. Butts, you said y'all gave her a 30-day notice to vacate June 10th.
Correct.
And then she did not move out, so a 3-day was given after that?
Correct. As a holdover tenant, yes, Your Honor. What date was that? The 3-day notice was sent July 11th, 2025.
Okay. All right. How much was the rent under the lease?
Your Honor, so this is an odd situation. I don't know if you recall, we've been here before. Ms. Makua alleges that there was a lease of some sort between her and Mr. Hilbig before he passed. Any copy of the lease that I've seen, it's not signed. There's no amount listed on that lease. So I actually am not aware, and I do not believe Ms. Monahan is aware of what that amount was per month. Ms. Makua would know what that is if there was one.
All right. Well, then, Ms. Butts, the reason I ask is that this sounds like it's a holdover, so you're not seeking any amount of back rent. But I need some information if you're successful for either party about an appeal bond. What type of premises is it? I'm assuming because we've got two estates here that this is a house.
It's a house, Your Honor, yes.
Any sense of what that house is renting for or something comparable, even if you know square footage, basics of it?
Let me see if I have something in my file, Your Honor. I apologize.
That's okay. It's just, I'd say average single family home in Austin, but I mean, those are all.
Right.
So I want to be a reasonable set there. But all right, well, while you're looking at that, then what I have is that this is a holdover matter. A 30-day notice was given, and then after that, a 3-day eventually, or you said a 3-day was then a subsequent to that on the 7/11. All right.
Yes.
Good morning, Ms. Makua. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Ms. Butts says that the property has now been transferred and that she's acting on behalf of the executor, Ms. Monahan. So Ms. Butts is the attorney. And she said that a 30-day notice was provided in June and then a 3-day in July, and that parties have not vacated. So is it correct that you've been a tenant at the property?
Yes.
All right. Had there ever been an agreement with you and the prior landlord to pay rent?
Yes.
How much was the monthly rent?
With utilities?
Just the rent?
500 with utilities included.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, Ms. Makua, Ms. Monahan says that they gave you a 30-day notice in June and then a 3-day in July.
Yes.
All right. So that you have not vacated the unit. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right.
There's
Why
no
not?
reason. Yeah. There's a reason.
What? That's what I'm asking. Why not, Ms. Makua?
Well, she's actually involved in investigation for fraud and also harassment. She's been stalking. I thought the order said she was to take nothing. She's taken so much, and she's been here a number of times where my neighbors and my visitors, my friends, my family have witnessed her parking outside, waiting for the mail, I don't have any control over my own mail. I'm on disability, which is another case in point. I'm under the Disability Act. The tampering with the mail actually affected my medical because I'm still having problems getting on the same page with the mail. Now, her deniability of not knowing about my tenancy is absolutely false. I have records, bank
She's
statements,
aware of your tenancy, Ms.
receipts,
Makua.
transactions,
She did have a copy of the
cash
lease.
app receipts, where she has been taking my rent since I moved in.
I don't, Ms. Makua, that's not a dispute. This isn't about money.
And
What they're
yes.
saying is that the new owners gave you a 30-day termination, and then you didn't leave, so they gave you
No,
a 3-day notice, and you haven't
can't.
left still.
Because of the actions that she has taken, actually violate. She called me a tenant in suffrage. I lost my house. I'm on.
That's a term of art.
How can I move if I have to pay now utilities, which was her responsibility? But she denies it. But I have proof right here. She's a liar. She's not telling the full truth, and she's trying to say I didn't have knowledge because I didn't sign it. She's the one that executed the document, and she's misrepresenting her role if she's going to act as an agency and collect all my money, $1,000 when I moved in, and then all the receipts that I've had afterwards, and then the tax records that say I've been paying. There's special provisions that Larry has in place where I have an irrevocable credit, where, because I've been maintaining according to the agreement to maintain that, and Ms. Monahan illegally terminated my lease back in November.
Correct. She has terminated your lease, and you have not
back in November.
That's why the claim is a holdover.
Yeah, but in November, she terminated by saying, I'm not responsible for your utilities, leaving me stuck after I'd already made a payment, a good faith payment to Larry's utility. I didn't know that he was dying. I didn't know that he wasn't. She is the lies and my medical condition, what then that triggered. She denied having to pay.
Who is this other woman?
Okay.
Sorry.
Can you assist? Are you able to help Ms.
I'm
Makua?
sorry.
Because I'd like to be clear about what the issue is, and I think that maybe there's some
financially
confusion.
exploited, and I can't get out of here because I need housing. That's
Okay,
why
let me talk to the judge real quick.
Tell me your name, ma'am.
Friend, I happened to stop by. I didn't know that these proceedings were going on.
I need functional support.
And so I just offered to help her try and send the email earlier to see if she could get a continuance because she's
We had to deny that because the timeline doesn't allow for me to extend it. The court was required to hear the case within 21 days. 21 days would have been Monday, so we had to go forward today. Okay? Tell me your name though, ma'am. I didn't catch that.
Okay, I can't hear her. Let me hear what she's saying.
What is your name, ma'am?
Monique Rodriguez. I'm just
Rodriguez. Good morning, Miss Rodriguez.
Functional.
I'm going to give you some information, and perhaps you can convey it to Ms. Makua. We will also be emailing it to her. Do you know if when she checked in, and Mary, when Ms. Makua checked in, did you get good contact information and email address for her?
Yes, we have the one on file. Let me just verify it with her.
Well, remember, we're on the internet. We're live and on YouTube, so we don't want to email out her email address, but I want to make sure we've got something.
Yes, we have the one she's been emailing us from.
Fantastic. Okay, then Ms. Rodriguez.
There is no agreement.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand it's difficult, but I'm going to explain the ruling, and perhaps you can convey this to Ms. Makua. And if you can, have her listen along, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I can't.
So what we have before us and what was provided by Ms. Butts in the anticipation and what Ms. Makua has not denied, in fact, she kind of explained it herself a little bit in her answer, is that Ms. Makua has been a tenant for a period of years at the property. She was the tenant of the former owner who has since passed away, Mr. Hilgig. That is Larry, I might be getting his last name a little bit, Mr. Hilbig. Now, there is a dispute over who owns the property, but what is clear is that the two titles would have gone to either Mr. Hilbig or to Miss Freeman. And in both of those cases, Miss Monahan has been appointed by the probate court as the executor of those estates, and Miss Butts is the attorney representing Miss Monahan. So Miss Monahan, for all legal purposes, is the landlord for Miss Makua. Right, that's who owns the land now. Well, she doesn't own it. She's the executive. She's taking care of getting it out there to the heirs. Once that happened, once Mr. Hilbig died, and the court appointed Miss Monahan to be the executor, and Miss Monahan hired Miss Butts, they sent Miss Makua a 30-day notice saying we're terminating the lease.
Yeah, but that's not.
And after that 30 days,
No, that's a false
did not
termination.
move. And that is what is being a holdover under Texas law. If you stay past the timeline you're allowed to be there, that becomes a holdover. So at that point, Ms. Butts gave her 3 more days and said, now you're a holdover. If you don't leave in 3 days, we will file an eviction hearing. And that 3 days passed. Ms. Makua did not move.
Because I'm disabled.
Which is what we're here before today. So I do find that there was a lease. That lease was properly terminated with a 30-day notice. Ms. Makua was given an additional 3-day notice, that is sufferance to leave, and she did not do so. For those reasons, the court would find that Ms. Monahan has a superior right of possession. So the judgment is for the plaintiff. Because there was no disagreement between the estate and Ms. Makua for rent, and Ms. Butts is not seeking it,
I'm gonna appeal it.
it is an award. She can definitely appeal, Ms. Rodriguez. I'm gonna explain her timeline, okay?
Okay, let me.
The
let me-
judgment-
let me hear what she's saying, and I'm gonna,
She's on probation for
She's-
fraud. and she
she's-
didn't know
okay.
The judgment is for possession. Ms. Butts, besides cost of court, are you seeking anything for attorney's fees?
No, Your Honor.
And it is a judgment for the plaintiff with possession and your cost of court. On appeal, either party can appeal. If the rent had been $500, and I take that as true from Ms. Makua, then I would set the appeal bond at $1,000, which can be done with an affidavit of inability.
okay.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
this afternoon, Ms. Makua will get an email from our court with a copy of today's order and instructions about her timeline if she wants to do something further.
Okay. Because
Ms.
if
Rodriguez?
she's saying that she has evidence here to support and prove that
She's operating on.
that she really doesn't have
She has to go to the
legal
district
rights,
court.
you know, to
The
do this.
district court
Is
has
that what
already
she would
issued the
submit at the,
letters of
appeals?
executor.
Is that's the, I'm trying to ask her. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
okay, Ms. Rodriguez,
Is that,
thank you for
is that
assisting.
what the stuff that she would need to submit at the appeal?
No. If she's challenging that Ms. Monahan has authority, that's a completely different court. That is a probate court. It has nothing to do with me. I can't do anything about it. The appeal wouldn't do anything about it. The appeal is about whether she has the right to remain. And ultimately, right now, she doesn't.
Reasonable.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Reasonable.
we're going to email Ms. Makua a copy of the order. She has 5 days to appeal. Please encourage her to check her email today so she gets that information.
Yeah, I'm gonna appeal you.
Okay, so then just check her email.
Mhm.
The-
If she doesn't do anything, Ms. Rodriguez,
She's also asking, did you receive an email from her at another time with some of these evidence and the things that she submitted?
she did, but they are not evidence of Ms. Monahan not having a superior right. She has 2 letters from district courts. That trumps everything.
Oh,
Right,
God.
Ms. Rodriguez, that's the order of the court.
I can't.
You're going to send a copy of that to Ms. Makua. Ms. Rodriguez.
Okay,
before
and
we
it'll
move to
show
the
her
next
how
one-
to appeal and all of that.
That's correct. She has at least 5 days. If she doesn't do anything, though, please keep this clear and make, if you can. On day 6, Mrs. Butts' client, Ms. Monahan, can receive the writ of possession and come in and remove her from the unit if she's still there. Okay?
Within how many days?
She has 5 more days, beginning tomorrow. On day 6, nothing has changed. That is the soonest Ms. Butts and her client can come in.
Okay, so she must appeal within these 5 days.
That's right. And there's no exception to that.
Okay.
Have a
All right.
functional
Good luck.
encounter.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Appreciate that.
That's
Good luck
why
to
I
Ms.
haven't been-
Shapua. Ms. Butts, all parties are excused. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.